Hey guys, I believe it's been about a month since my last DVD Blu-ray update, and so finally, it's about that time of the month again to do another one. And this time around, I've got one DVD and 7 Blu-rays. So I believe this might actually be the largest Blu-ray DVD update I've done all year in terms of how many I have. And unfortunately, there is one more I don't have, unfortunately, that I'm missing for this update. And that's because I'm still waiting on one more movie, and I've been waiting on it for probably about a week and a half or so. And unfortunately, it still has not come in yet in the mail, even though pretty much the rest of them I bought on Amazon about 2 weeks ago have long since been in at this point. There's one more I'm still waiting on, so you'll see that one probably in my next DVD update. There's actually two. I decided to go ahead and do this DVD update today, though, even though it possibly could come tomorrow. Just because there's two more videos I want to upload. That both of those I wanted to upload after I did my DVD update, which is this video. So yeah, I still have two more videos to upload after this one. Which one of them I may go ahead and upload this afternoon or tonight when I go to bed. Get it started uploading. So I hope you all will watch it. It's just going to be a quick review, like movie review. So I hope you all will watch it. So anyway, that said, as for this video, I'll go ahead and show you the one DVD I got this time around. Like I've said before, as you all know, I almost never buy DVDs anymore. There are rare times I will, and that usually is when a movie I want is only out on DVD, and probably, I mean, there's no telling when it will come out on Blu-ray. This is one of those cases where basically the one DVD I have is a 2001 movie, and that is the horror thriller Joyride, which stars Steve Zahn, Paul Walker, and Lily Sobieski, or I'm not sure how you pronounce her name, but yeah, that's the front cover. Ted Levine is also in this, but he only does the voice of the villain in this movie, but. In a way, it's kind of similar to the movie Dole from the 70s, where basically what it's about, though, is it's these two brothers who are basically, I think, driving across country to go meet this one girl who the one brother kind of has a crush on, and basically they get to fooling around with the CB radio in the one brother's car, and they end up ultimately playing this prank on this truck driver who goes by the name Rusty Nails. And basically, it ends up pretty much ends up backfiring heavily on the brothers because, Rusty Nails ends up kind of like stalking them, and basically starts stalking them throughout the movie. So yeah, that's kind of like what the movie's about and everything. I've always enjoyed this movie. It's one of those movies I remember. The network FX, I remember they used to play this a lot, probably about a year or two ago, which is how I actually discovered this movie. It seems like every network that plays movies, like that, they'll always get like one or two movies that they'll just play incessantly. This was one of those movies for FX, I remember. Kind of like how back in the 90s for TNT it was like The Great Outdoors, for example. One thing, I never realized this until like recently that Jessica Bowman is in this movie. Who Jessica Bowman played Colleen on Dr. Quinn, like the second Colleen or whatever. She was she was the replacement actress who played Colleen for most of the series. However, the thing is, her whole subplot probably could have just been left out of the movie, and it would not have taken anything away from the movie. It probably should have, personally, but because she's in the movie, Jessica Bowman is in the movie for like a total of like 3 minutes, like for 2 scenes. You basically barely see her throughout the whole movie, and her whole subplot I thought was kind of sort of. It could have been left out, let's just say that. I haven't actually watched the special features on this yet, but apparently there's they actually included like 4 alternate endings to it. But they actually did a sequel to this like 3 years ago, I believe. Basically has very little connection to this one though, other than the fact that the character Rusty Nails is in it. But I haven't seen that yet. Anyway, that's it. On to the Blu-rays. I guess I'll do these in alphabetical order. Oops. Yeah, almost slid out of the case there. First up is probably is easily one of my favorite '80s movies, and that is the 25th anniversary edition of The Breakfast Club. It still has like the stickers on the the case, but here's the Blu-ray, the actual case for it. Yes, easily one of my favorite movies from the '80s, and I honestly think it's probably one of John Hughes's best 3 movies that he did, personally. Personally, I think it's one of the best 3, but I don't know. I just have always loved this movie. It's one of those movies that has like the Blu-ray and the DVD with it. Pretty much, like I've heard before, like it's been said that some people think that what makes this movie so popular is everybody has that one character in this movie that they can relate to the most to some degree. For me, I'm not going to get into why, but for me, it's Bender. Don't ask. Long story. But like they say, like everybody has that one character. I thought I just heard something tear, but sure. See if I can get this back in the case now. The silk case. So that's it. Yeah, I love that movie. Next up is actually the first movie that came in the mail for me that I bought on Amazon of that batch, and is a horror movie, and that is the original Children of the Corn. This is the one from the 1984, not the remake. This is also the 25th anniversary edition of it. It's kind of funny watching this movie and thinking that this movie somehow spawned 7 sequels. Yeah, it's just weird. I think it's kind of funny too how like with the sequels, it's like every one of these Children of the Corn movies are out on Blu-ray except for 2 of them. It's like all of them but the second movie and the 7th one. And the rest of them are on Blu-ray. Those are not for some reason. Yeah, it's also one of those movies that rare instances for me where I had the movie on VHS, skipped the DVD, and then went straight to Blu-ray for it. So anyway, moving on. The next movie is probably one everybody is familiar with, is heard of, at very least is heard of. Yeah, I've heard about this movie for years. I've never seen it, but I've always wanted to see this movie. Because I've heard so much about it, and everything. And that is 1994's The Crow, starring Brandon Lee. Now, I'm sure you all know about the sad story involving Brandon Lee in this movie. This was, of course, his last movie. He unfortunately died during an on-set accident. Yeah, while filming the movie. Yeah, I know. I always heard a lot about this movie, but somehow I never picked up the fact that Ernie Hudson is actually one of the main characters in this. But basically, it's set in Detroit, and basically, one main character, Eric Draven, played by Brandon Lee, him and his fiancee are murdered like the night before they're going to get married, and like a year later, this crow brings Draven back to life, and basically with the goal of so he can kill this gang that murdered him and murdered and raped his girlfriend. And pretty much that's kind of like what the movie is about. Is basically him like going around killing these gang members that did that to him. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I got it and finally saw it. I enjoyed it a lot. They've done a few sequels to this since this came out. I think the only one, I don't think I've ever seen any of the sequels in full. I think I've seen some of one of them. I believe it's the one that had Edward Furlong in it. I think that's the only sequel I've seen, even just a little of. The first sequel, I hear like one of the characters from this is one of the main characters in the sequel, but she's played by a different actress because the sequel is supposed to take place like years later or something. But I may have to check it out sometime. The rest of the sequels. So anyway, next up is the one you already know I have, and that is Diary of the Dead. Yeah, I'll go ahead and tell you. The other movie I'm waiting on is Survival of the Dead, which is the one that came out after this one. I bought both of them on the same day, so I had figured Survival would have been in by now, but it's not so far. Hopefully tomorrow, but the thing is, though, I actually prefer this to Land of the Dead, believe it or not. I'll have to see if I still prefer this to Survival as well, but I definitely prefer this to Land, though, actually. Okay. Okay, movie note. Next up is a movie I've always really enjoyed. It's been one of my favorite movies for years, and that is the original Men in Black. Again, it's one of the Blu-ray DVD combo sets. Yeah, I watched this yesterday morning, and yeah, the thing is, this something hit me like it makes me feel older than I am because the thing is, this movie came out in 1997, and in like 4 years, this movie is going to be 20 years old in 4 years, and right now it's about 15 and a half years old, or whatever. And I can remember seeing this in theaters with my parents when I was 11 years old. I think, yeah. I remember seeing this when I was 11 years old. Yeah, when it was in theaters. Yeah, I don't know, it's like here I am now, 15 years later, I'm 26, and I'm like 4 years away from being 30. And I remember seeing this when I wasn't even a teenager yet. And I got to thinking too while I was watching this that I remember the CGI in this looking a lot better when I was 11 years old. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but I just remember it looking a lot better. Whatever. Next up is also a good movie I enjoy a lot, and that is the original Red Dawn, starring Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen, and C. Howell Thomas. I think is his name. I think it's either C. Thomas Howell or C. Howell Thomas. C. Thomas Howell. Okay. Yeah. Basically, though, of course, 1980 in the mid 80s, the Soviet Union invades America, and basically a group of teenagers and one of the teenagers' older brother escape into the Colorado mountains, and basically they form as like this little guerrilla rebel group that they start striking back against the Soviets. Yeah, sort of thing. Yeah, I always enjoyed that movie a lot. I've always been like a big fan of Patrick Swayze ever since I first saw him in Ghost. It's actually the second movie of his I own, I think, on DVD or Blu-ray. The first being Next of Kin, but finally, now the last Blu-ray that I have for this batch. It's actually the core of my next video I'll be uploading. I'll say. So one of the movies I got for Christmas. Oh yeah, like Men in Black, Breakfast Club, and The Crow. Those are the other three movies I got for Christmas, by the way. This last one I also got for Christmas, and it is another horror movie. It's an anthology film, and that is VHS. I enjoyed it. As I say in my next video I'll be uploading, which I have already done that video, but I think this is one of those kind of movies that you're either going to really enjoy or you're just going to hate. I don't think there's really an in between for it. But yeah, anyway. That said, yeah, I did like a semi-short review for this, so which I may upload that tonight tonight and all that, but we'll see, either tonight or tomorrow. And that is all my DVDs and Blu-rays for this update. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.